Hey, everybody, this is Jonathan Ogden, and you're listening to the What's Bruin Show.
Hey, Bruin fans, this is David Singleton, and you're listening to the What's Bruin Show. Go Bruins.
Hey, this is Wayne Cook, and you're listening to What's Bruin Show.
Hey, guys, it's Chris Johnson, UCLA national champion. I need y'all to listen to the What's Bruin Show. These dudes are off the hook.
This is Maurice Jones-Drew, and you're listening to the What's Bruin Show.
You're listening to the What's Bruin Show, part of the What's Bruin Show network, with your hosts, Jake Berryfield and Mike Regalado, and occasionally some friends, talking all things UCLA sports. And now, it's time for the What's Bruin Show.
Hello, welcome to What's Bruin. I am your host, Jake Berryfield, and in a few minutes, I'll be joined by my good buddy Mike Regalado of 24/7 Sports. And we will talk about some UCLA sports stuff. It's the What's Bruin Show on the What's Bruin Show Network. Thank you for your support. If you have an email for us, whatsbruinshow@gmail.com. You can follow us on the social media stuff at What's Bruin Show on there. We appreciate that. You can also see the show on YouTube to a really outdated slideshow. Just search up What's Bruin Show and look for the UCLA-related stuff. Also call the hotline, 805-399-4WBS, Second Reign of Troy. And, there's all sorts of things you can do for the show. On the Substack or on the Patreon, you want to subscribe. We appreciate your support. There hasn't been a whole lot of bonus content lately, but in the future, that might change. And we're just asking for your support as we navigate these independent sports talk waters out here, just doing our thing. But you obviously are under no obligation to do that. But if you would like, it's on the Substack or on the Patreon, patreon.com/whatsbruinshow or whatsbruin.substack.com. And whether you subscribe or not, there's generally more pictures related to the show on the Substack feed and generally on the Patreon feed if you are interested in looking at that. And all the free episodes are up on there. But anywho, I'm going to be getting Mike on the line in just a few minutes. We're going to talk UCLA, football, basketball, baseball, softball as it's relevant. And then we will have a What's Bruin, and this time it's a collab What's Bruin because me and Mike did something fun over the weekend together. So that's going to be, I think, a fun story. I certainly had a good time where we were at. So before we get to bringing Mike on the phone, we'll just talk some football right away. Football. Before Mike got in here, I thought I would reset my sort of thoughts on recruiting, which is obviously like the biggest, thing that's happening right now for any college football program. And for years and years, we've been doing the What's Bruin Show since 2013, and recruiting is probably my least favorite part of the whole thing. And that's because it's just so unreliable. I would like to have some sort of efficiency in what I think about and what I spend my time doing. And I've always felt like looking at recruiting from a couple years now is kind of sort of a waste of time. But I only mean that in getting into the serious minutia of it. I like to be able to look at the 24/7, recruiting rankings and see that UCLA for the class of 27 is number 3 in the country. That's like super awesome, cool. I'm like ready to play the Go Bruin sounds all day long.
Go Bruins, right? What's up?
Go Bruins.
Go Bruins.
Go Bruins. Go Bruins. But my interest in that is purely on just what the number is relative to the other schools. As far as all the guys that are actually committed in the class, like it's fun to say that Joey Toyo's brother is committed now, or Jerry Outhouse, or it's fun to say the name God's Choice as a first name for a guy, for goodness sakes. But it's hard to get attached to guys we're not going to see for a couple years. And also it's hard to get attached to guys that historically, right, traditionally, these recruiting classes would change so much between now and when they actually take the field for whatever college program they end up playing at, with the flips and all that stuff. Now, last week, our wonderful guest and Mike's new coworker, Connor Morissette, did give me some hope in this regard and saying that, now with the recruiting game, when you're signing these new recruits, now we're talking about guys that are committing to money and kind of a 2 or 3 year contract. That makes it a little different as far as what I'm thinking about. But still, it's a long way before we get these guys actually on the field. And so I'm not going to think about it too much other than just what is the number on the board when you look at the rankings relative to all the other schools, and that will tell me, should I feel really good about UCLA recruiting right now or really negative or somewhere in the between, kind of mediocre. And more than that, I'm not trying to look at a bunch of high school highlight reels or anything like that. There's plenty of guys getting paid to do that. There's plenty of guys that are making money analyzing that. And if you want to pay attention to that, this is probably not going to be the place for you to go for that sort of information. But to feel positive about UCLA football and what the trajectory is, absolutely, it's super cool to see them out recruiting. And I'm just hoping that they're recruiting guys that actually make the field and that actually do well. And I can't wait to root for them and watch them really, really closely once they are wearing the blue and gold. With that being said, Class 27 is just like blowing up. It's on fire. It's wonderful. Number 3 in the country right now, right? That's just insane. Obviously, it's going to change as you go through the recruiting weekends and as the other schools start to do things. Like, we're probably going to end up there, but it's pretty clear that UCLA will have a high-ranking class for 27, and that's just outstanding, especially relative to where they've been the last, decade. This is really, really super cool because, as we know, the previous administrations either couldn't recruit because of their limitations or didn't want to recruit because of the limitations they imposed on themselves. So it's really good to see it getting back to a place like we were kind of under the Jim Mora era early, where it was just exciting to think about what's coming next for UCLA football, whether you want to get into the weeds on it or not. I am one of the people who really don't want to until they're actually at the school. But then you look at just the class that Chesney's throwing together coming in, that's 26 class, and I think that it's, we don't know how they're going to look on the field this year, but there's so many new guys. And if you looked at the rankings right now on the 24/7 composite, they're 64th in the country overall. With the high school recruiting, which isn't great. Only 20 recruits, no 4-stars at all. But then the transfer portal, they got 41 new guys according to 24/7. And they're like 33 in the country on that ranking. And they have a few 4-stars there. For the combined ranking of 59th in the country, 61 incoming guys, transfers and high school guys, and a few 4-stars there. And we don't know how they're going to be on the field under Chesney. There's so many unknowns, but it looks like they have guys that are looking pretty athletic. And if things come together, they can have a pretty nice season. And if they don't, then maybe not. But I think all of us are hoping and looking forward to them overachieving in some way, shape, or form, right? Because it looks like they have the right coach. It looks like he's going to get these players bought in. He's going to get all these players pulling in the right direction. And if you do that, you have a chance to overachieve. Whereas if you have guys splintered, guys flat, guys not believing in what the coach is selling, then you have starts like we started with the second year of the Deshaun Foster era, right? And that was pretty rough. So all the arrows point towards the opposite of the start of last year, and that's always a good thing, right? So that's my little soapbox about recruiting. If you really want to spend a lot of time watching high school footage and stuff, by all means, go ahead. But I'm not going to talk about it because it's not something that is really on my radar yet. But enjoy the fact that UCLA has a high recruiting class, and hopefully they're holding on to that, and that you can trust that these coaches are working their ass off to make UCLA a better place, a more popular place, a more fun place to play football. And that's really all I can ask from these dudes. Can't wait to see them on the field. It's still a long ways away, unfortunately. Now, let's get Mike on the phone and see what else is up. All right, joining me on the What's Bruin Hotline, it is my wonderful co-host, Mike Regalado.
Big applause, Big Mike.
Here he is. Mike, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good, Jake. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. So we already did the kind of the football introduction because I just gave a little spiel about how I feel about recruiting, which is basically tell me when they're in blue and gold. And other than that, I just want to know the big number that's attached to them relative to other schools. But with that being said, I think you care about it a little more than I do in the micro. And that's okay. I'm here to talk about whatever you want to talk about. But we're starting with football before we move on to anything else you want to talk about. So what do you have about football you want to talk about, Big Mike?
Well, first off, last week, UCLA pulled something off late last week when they got several more commitments. The latest by this is amazing. I love this guy's name.
God's Choice.
God's Choice.
How'd I know?
Bowden. I love that. That is amazing.
Like, what are we doing? But that's awesome.
And that commitment pushed UCLA to the number 3 class in the nation. And yes, this really doesn't mean anything other than rating the different players that are going to each school, but I just thought it was funny that like 2 weeks ago, UCLA was ranked, I believe, like 44th, 43rd.
Not no more.
And there were a few Trojan fans who were like, "Oh yeah, look, we're getting all the good ones." And then when because UCLA was then number 4 last weekend after the spring game, that was right behind USC at number 3. And then when UCLA swapped with them, I just put it out there that after this commitment, UCLA is now number 3 in the nation. The Trojan fans were not liking that. Oh, it's just recruiting rankings. We'll see what happens on on the field. I'm like, well, yeah, but there's just this. It's a bit of a turn of events, which a lot of opponents of UCLA are not liking.
Hey, the Trojan fans have weighed in. Here's one of them.
I'm happy that UCLA won.
And here's another one.
I was actively rooting for UCLA today, and it makes me feel dirty.
And she went on to say this.
I'm happy that UCLA won.
I mean, they're just happy, so it's okay.
Yeah.
They haven't won yet, but I mean, it's good they're ahead.
Yeah, and I get it. USC has more 5-star commits. How many do they have? They have actually they don't have any. Sorry.
They had like 11 4s versus 9 or something.
They have 9 4-stars, and UCLA has 7 4-stars. But a bit of what's pushing UCLA over the edge right now is the fact that they have 19 commitments.
Yeah,
that's pretty big. Especially when you look at the top 5. Oklahoma's number 1 with 21. Texas A&M number 13 with 13 is second. UCLA is third with 19 commitments. Notre Dame 4th. Yeah, and then USC dropped because Notre Dame went into that number 4 spot with 15 commitments. And USC only has 13 commitments. But this is early in the recruiting season. Early. Yeah, so
it's like I said,
still,
it's just good to know that relative to other seasons, UCLA is doing so much better than they have been.
Yes.
And I honestly, I don't care where they are in relation to USC necessarily. I just care where they are in relation to everybody else. And as of right now, they're doing real good. And that's what I think we can really take heart in, especially when you compare to where they have been. And that's just wonderful. So I look forward to when these guys actually suit up and are actually in a UCLA practice. And I won't be, I said this already earlier, but I'm not going to be watching a bunch of highlight film for a bunch of seniors, I don't think. But just knowing that the Bruin staff is out there recruiting their butts off is pretty awesome.
Yeah. But I mean, I do like the fact that they are getting more talent than they have been, which should help translate onto the field, because
you would think
when you got better guys, more athletic players, not all the time, but most of the time, that really helps with your game plan going forward. So
you would think.
This is really good for Bob Chesney in his first year, just giving him a lot of momentum. Pretty decent commitment class, which wasn't all of his for 2026, but he did bring in a ton of 41 transfers. So that's just amazing right there.
No, it's great.
But great. That's just what I quickly wanted to say about that. I have a little bit of basketball news, not men's basketball, because they haven't
it breaking
done
news,
anything,
Mike?
So
is it breaking news?
Pretty much, yeah, sure.
Well, let me find it. Hold on.
What's brewing? News. Breaking news on a weekly basis.
News just in.
We do love breaking news.
UCLA head coach Corey Close. We kind of knew it was coming. Details came out today. She is getting an extension, $2 million each season through 2030. So good on her. I mean, it seems well deserved. I mean, you win a national championship. It seems like you win the national championship by 27 points. That seems like it could really help out your job status.
Let's play. Let's play some things for Corey. That's absolutely.
Go Bruins, right?
Go Bruins.
And then we'll play this.
UCLA. UCLA. Fight.
There you go. Good job.
Yeah, so she's locked in, and I believe it was ESPN that had UCLA with the 5th best transfer class this season. So even though it's not going to replicate the roster from last season, because that's a once in a lifetime roster right there. there seems to be some talent, and at the very least, it's going to keep UCLA relevant.
Who's my favorite player in 26-7 going to be for the UCLA women's basketball team? Who's my favorite player?
Yours?
Yeah. Let's predict. Who's my? That's just a baller
Amanda Muse?
lady, huh?
Amanda Muse?
Maybe. Who else? Who are some of the transfers? Give me height.
Aaron Solo?
Yeah. How tall? Or what position?
Oh, I have to look into that. They have a lot of guards. They have a lot of guards.
So Amanda Muse, why am I going to like Amanda Muse?
She's just been there the longest. She's a hard worker. She's going to most likely be the backup center, backup five, not exactly
But
center.
who's going to be the starter? Is it going to be Sienna?
Sienna Betts.
Yeah, Sienna Betts is much more likely to be the one that I decide I'm going to root for more or something.
Well, that's the thing. Corey Close is going to have another difficult time of deciding who the starters are. You have Addie Brown transfer. I think she was from Iowa State, 6'2" senior.
Nice.
Tamia Gardner, who's returning from injury. Is she going to be well enough to start? Sienna most likely is going to start. You have Bonnie Diaz, who's probably going to be the starting point guard. She's at 5'9" freshman. You have Kiki Bransford, who's a 5'11" senior. Donovan Hunter. This team has talent. It doesn't have the exquisite talent of last year, but I keep looking at this going, damn, this is a really good team.
That's very cool.
I don't know about you, but for me, it would be between Arnisalo, Hunter, Diaz, and Betts.
Okay.
But yeah, they're definitely they're not going to have the height as they did last year. Because what do they have? 1, 2, 3, 4 transfer guards. All of them are under 6 feet tall, or 6 feet tall, 6 feet and under. And then you have Addie Brown, who's a forward, but she's only 6'2".
Nice.
And the tallest person on the team, both Amanda Muse and Sienna Betts at 6'4". So yeah, they don't have the height and the length, but they are going to be probably a little bit faster because they're definitely going to be guard heavy.
All right, cool. Well, fair enough, Mikey. I reserve judgment. What else do you want to talk
about? Yeah, it was announced today that UCLA would be participating in the 4-team multi-team tournament, not tournament, but event, the 2026 Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame Women's Showcase. That is a mouthful. That is going to take place in Uncasville, Connecticut, and feature UCLA against St. John's, as well as a repeat from this past tournament's Final Four matchup between South Carolina and UConn. So the NCAA women's basketball, they're just going to be like, hell, we're just going to create rivalries. we're just going to put everybody in one small place and let them go at it. Thunderdome style. That's pretty awesome.
Sick.
To put those two teams and for them to agree to it. Obviously, they're not just going to say, hey, you have to play this team, but for South Carolina and UConn to go at it once again, that's going to be a really good matchup. But UCLA is going to be against St. John's. That is November something. I had it here somewhere, but that was just announced today. So, so those are the women's basketball notes that I have. It's going to be going to be a quick show.
Not a problem with that. Okay
exactly. Especially since it's so nice. Yeah. That's it. Was that thing for all my? Yeah, I have my notes all scattered, so forgive me. All right, let's go into some modern sports. Let's start off with softball, Jake.
Okay. Sounds good.
Well, the Bruins, they are hosting the Los Angeles Regional in the first weekend of the Women's College World Series. But before I get into that, just a kind of recap of what they did over the weekend. They were in the Big Ten tournament in Maryland. They lost in the championship game. But there was some silver linings. Right before the tournament started, it was announced that Jordan Woolery was the Big Ten Player of the Year. So congratulations to her. She was also a first teamer with Megan Grant, who also had a spectacular weekend, which I'll get into in a second. But first on, what was it, on Thursday? UCLA took on Penn State. They took down the Nittany Lions 6-1. When was this? Friday afternoon. Took on Wisconsin, destroyed them 19-5. That was a bit of a statement win right there. So with all that momentum, it looked pretty good to go against number 1 Nebraska. Unfortunately, the Bats did not show up. They lost 7-2 in the championship game. But
bummer.
The Bruins showed that they are definitely one of the top teams in the Big Ten, and that was highlighted by the fact that Megan Grant smashed the single season home run record and now owns 38 home runs in a single freaking season. So
in
congratulations
55
to her.
freaking games.
Yeah, seriously, damn. That's crazy.
And she was on the women's team at the end of the bench or something, wasn't she?
Yeah, she played a little bit.
Quite a year.
Maybe the first 2 months. Yeah, she's absolute baller. Absolute baller, Jake. Tool sport athlete. Got to ride with the queens of college basketball, and then made her own way again.
Baller,
and she's going to the professional softball league next year too. So yeah, she's on a roll. She's on a roll right now.
Very cool.
Lucky punk. So all that got
hard.
UCLA. Yeah, all that got UCLA the overall number 8 seed in the Women's College World Series. That all starts this weekend on Friday. The Bruins are paired with Cal Baptist, South Carolina, and Cal State Fullerton. South Carolina takes on Cal State Fullerton. That's at 4:30 Pacific time on ESPN Plus. Right after that game, about 7 p.m. Pacific time, the Bruins and Cal Baptist, they face off on ESPN 2. And then this is one of those weird brackets where it's a double elimination. So if you lose, you're still in, but kind of puts you in a bit of a hole. But yeah, this seems like a regional that should be no problem for the Bruins. But there are a lot of good freaking teams in this World Series. If my computer would stop acting up, yeah, they are matched up with. There it is. God, I'm sorry, everyone. This is bad. This is bad radio. They're matched up with number 1 Alabama, which is in their bracket, number 4 LSU, and number 3 Florida State. UCLA is overall number 8, but on their side of the bracket, they're number 2. That's pretty freaking confusing to me, but whatever. But yeah, potentially they have Florida State if they get past this weekend, and then most likely go against Alabama. Or LSU before they get into that final messy stage of the College World Series. That all starts this weekend. We now have May Madness upon us. And so we're going to be following that this weekend. We're also going to be following some baseball, Jake.
Yay.
Some baseball. And our guy, Jack Savage, who was supposed to be on tonight, couldn't make it, but we're going to get him next week. And especially at the perfect time. Yeah, he's been quite excited about UCLA baseball, especially since he is a former walk-on.
Yeah,
and knows his team inside out. But yeah, we're going to be able to talk to him next week, which is good because UCLA still has one final weekend series, and as they go up to Seattle to take on Washington.
That looks awesome.
But it was a big weekend for the Bruins as. It was a back and forth affair. This was probably the toughest series UCLA had all season long as they took on number 14, Oregon. This was weird. The series started on Friday. Both Oregon and UCLA are the only 2 teams in the nation that have not lost on a Friday.
Oh, wow.
So
that's kind of fun.
Yeah. So whoever won would still be undefeated on a Friday this season. Well, that would be your Bruins as they trounced Oregon 11-1. And they also tied the Big Ten record for consecutive conference wins.
That's awesome.
They now have 27, tied with Illinois, which I shocked you last week, Jake, when I said that record has stood since 1911.
Yeah.
Insane.
That is insane.
Could they make their own mark? Unfortunately not, because Oregon beating the Bruins for only the 5th time this season, or I should say, handing the Bruins only their 5th loss for the season. They took them out 6-9.
Whatever, man.
And,
It's 3 a.m. I'm on the.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Whatever. Whatever. And it looked like it was going to be 2 games in a row. On Sunday, they faced off for a 3rd time. And the Bruins allowed 5 runs in the 4th, giving Oregon the 6-1 lead in the 4th. But the Bruins slowly made their way back and secured the win when Dean West hit a grand slam in the 8th inning to give the Bruins the 9-6 win. And just a freaking impressive feat by the Bruins, who are, they're down like that, but it's like, no worries. We'll just come back and knock a few dingers out for you. So, and, get the win. But it was unfortunate that they didn't get the win. But I mean, come on, nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
But at the same time, pretty freaking impressive that they not only have secured so many wins this season, but were able to take down Oregon in the first game, take the loss in the second, and then bounce back. But the Bruins will be at Washington next weekend, and the following weekend, probably that Sunday, this coming Sunday, we'll get another selection show where we'll find out where the UCLA baseball team will be, what region they will be in. Spoiler alert: they'll probably be number 1 in the Los Angeles region.
Nice.
So that's going. That's something to look forward to for the Bruins, because this team is just absolutely bonkers right now, and it's really fun to see it. So if you want to get all your baseball information and softball, Bruin247.com, baby.
Yeah, and here, let's play this for our wonderful ranked baseball team.
Fight!
That's awesome. Good job, Mike.
Nice. Yeah, so pretty productive weekend, despite the fact that there is no major stuff going on. But we still have, as always, we still talk about football for a little bit. But so that's really what's it. I mean, I should probably look into track, see what they're up to. But when was it? This past weekend? Yeah, volleyball had a chance to make a dent. Like, what was it? They didn't lose all season, but they lost in the quarterfinals of the men's tournament. It was like, oh, well, that's a bad way to go out.
Bummer.
But so that's all we got right now. So
that's all we got, really, Mike? Is that right? So it means it's time for What's Wrong with You?
What's brewing with you? You ask me. What's brewing with me? Yeah. What's brewing with you? What's brewing with me?
It's a very short show, Mike. I don't mind. It's
How
okay.
long is that?
It's gonna be. I mean, dude, we're gonna be.
Yeah, I thought it'd be a little longer, but
we might get to a half hour. No, we'll get to a half hour.
all
We'll
right.
get to a half hour. Hey,
Yeah,
sorry,
all right.
sorry, Jack. Sorry.
Oh, you
Nancy.
asked me what time. You
It's okay.
asked me what time it is, Jake.
What time is it?
It's business. It's business time. I know what you're trying to say. You're trying to say it's time for business. It's
Business time. Ooh, that's what me and Mike did. We went to the Greek and we saw a concert together.
Yeah.
We saw
my God, that
Fly
was
to the
much needed.
Conchords. It was so awesome.
I wanted to see at least one show. I was looking, I've been telling you lately about these comedians that I've been into, and 2 of them were at, I think one was at the Orpheum, one was somewhere else for the Netflix as a Joke event over the weekend in Los Angeles. I wanted to see Daniel Sloss, but that was like $80, which is probably doable. But the fact that he went on at 9:45, I'm like, dude, I'm old. I can't do that.
Yeah.
And then I think what was I doing on Saturday? I was busy on Saturday, but I didn't have a chance to go see Sam Morril. We kind of planned this already. We went to go see the Flight of the Conchords at the Greek Theater.
Yeah,
which,
part of the
first off,
Netflix is a Joke series at the Greek.
Even
though they talked a lot of shit
which
about
kind of
Netflix.
capped off. Yeah, that was funny. Here's my one gripe. Here's what grinds my gears, Jake. If you're going to have an establishment in which is required to use electronic devices for your ticket, make sure you have accessible wavelengths to the people and their phones so that we can access said tickets.
It was a surprise walking up the stairs, and I'm like, luckily I guess they were queued on my app already, so it wasn't an issue for me. But I was like looking at the thing, and I'm like, wait, I hope I can get my tickets because it says I have no internet. And then trying to communicate with you because I had no idea where you were. Yeah. And it was at the last minute if we found out that we were going to have an extra seat where we were, because you bought, at first I thought you were going to be able to go with us, and then you weren't. And then by the time it was time for the show, we had an extra seat again. So you were able to buy wherever your ticket was, but then come sit with us. And that was fun. But I had no way to communicate with you for a while because it took me a while to figure out that, I guess the Greek Wi-Fi at least is pretty good. Even if my T-Mobile cell phone was a useless brick as far as actual cell service was involved. So thank God I was able to get hold of you.
That's what that's what I was told too at the gate. They said that, just go on the Wi-Fi, you'll be fine. And I was trying to go on. I'm like, I can't connect. And the guy goes, do you have T-Mobile? I'm like, yeah. Oh, yeah, it doesn't really work. I'm like, oh, son of a...
It's like, son of a gun.
So luckily, my name was... I went to the box office, and my name was on a list, so they gave me a paper ticket. I'm like, cool, nice. Fine, whatever. So, yeah, I go kind of look around, see maybe if I can just bump into you guys. No avail. So then I go proceed to buy a $27 beer. Oof. And then find my seat, which was
keep going.
which I was way up at the top, but it was center. So I was like, cool. So I'm just sitting there waiting. It's about 15 minutes until showtime. And all of a sudden I get like all these notifications. I was like, oh, that's cool. Let's go. I'm like, holy shit, wait, I'm getting notifications. I have service.
Yay.
And that's where I got your text and texted you back. Then I was like, yeah. So I joined up with Jake and his familia, and saw the show there, which had an opener. Did not indicate that they would have an opener, but
I think Arj Barker.
Funny, but
Arj Barker's always come out with them, so I kind of assumed he would be there. But that's who it was. Yeah. And if you don't know, he plays Dave on the show. If you were a Flight of the Conchords fan, and he had a pretty good act. I thought his stand up was pretty funny. He started with a gag about a death in his family and turned out to be his great grandfather. But he's still mourning it.
I miss you, Papa.
I miss you, Papa. I was like, oh my God, so stupid. It was so dumb. But anyways, that was a lot of fun. It is funny, Mike. Bill specifically will enjoy this story. I know you will, Bill, because Mike, how much was your beer?
But $27 after tax.
So I went to the bar. So number one, we got shut out at the merch windows, which I was really sad because we waited in line for quite a while. And no posters.
Those lines were insane.
They literally sold the last album that Megan wanted to buy, even though I got on Amazon a day later. But they sold the album that Megan wanted to buy. Right when we walked up, the guy pulled it off the wall to the person to the right of us. I was like, God damn it. They didn't have the t-shirt I wanted. And like I said, all the posters are sold out, and the posters are really cool for Flight of the Conchords. So I was a little bummed about that. But then I went over to the cocktail bar, and I ordered some wine for Sarah, and I ordered double whiskey for myself. And the guy's sitting there, Bill, this is for you. And the guy's like, hey, do I know you? Where do I know you from? And I'm like, I don't know. Where do you know me from? He's like, you're at the court. I'm like, yeah, I am. He's like, you're one of the guys helping on this unnamed trial that we were doing for like a couple weeks, and it was actually something that he was there for a while. I was like, yeah, I am. Nice to see you, man. I hope you enjoyed your service. He's like, yeah, I did. And then he said, wait a minute, and he runs away, and he gets my double whiskey comped, and I was like, that's awesome, because I think at the Greek Theater, that's like a $50 value, I think. So I really enjoyed taking my free drink at the Greek after I was shut down at the merch tables. So that was nice. And hey, being nice to people sometimes will pay off when you least expect it. Because I think I'm literally the last guy doing that job that actually relishes going out and being helping the poor jurors as they're on this poor journey of being miserable in a jury trial or whatever. I'm there to help them and assist them. So I guess I made an impression. So that was fun. So that was really nice. As far as the show goes, Mike, what did you think of the Britt and Jermaine as they were performing? Obviously, even though they had played 2 shows in the last week before that, they were still very raw in doing their act, which basically was the same act they did on their last appearance 8 years ago. I think it was at the Royal Albert Hall in the UK. It was the same show. Like if you watch the HBO special or wherever it was on, they pretty much played almost the same set. But what do you think of their performance?
Oh, I thought it was really good. It was really funny. It was really tight at times. There were other times where I could tell, I was like, oh, they missed it because these vocals should be over here.
Oh, man.
But either way, it was pretty fun. The fact that they were kind of doing the equivalent to a jazz interpretation for musical comedy.
That's pretty much what it was, yeah.
But it's like they for the most part did really well, especially for songs that had beats and they had to stay on the beat. But no, it was just really funny actually hearing those songs live for the first time. In the Greek Theater. Go see an open air show, people. It's just fantastic. There are the Hollywood
It's a
Bowl.
lovely place, yeah.
Yeah. Especially as it was sunset, so it was just perfect. Just having a comedy show and music and. Just singing along to all of the songs that have been stuck in our heads for the last decade or so. Especially like mine is Business Time, so I was waiting for that sucker. But I do like the fact that they improv'd a lot and changed some of their words to basically modernize the song.
I think that's and I think that's kind of putting it charitably. Like, it's funny, as someone who knows pretty much their entire act backwards and forwards and by heart, even like a lot of the bantery stuff. Number one, they were very free flowy and having fun with every in-between song segment. There was a lot of stuff there just goofing off, and that was really, really fun to watch. But then the actual songs, I don't think they nailed one of them, but I'm glad they didn't, because it was fun to watch them just kind of screw up and get through things and like sing the wrong part of the wrong place. And it was really, really funny. But watching the performance from London 8 years ago, alongside right after watching this, it was really, really funny to see a really tight show, and then oh my god, these guys are off the rails sort of show. So it was pretty fun. And we got
they even said, we're off the rails, we're getting distracted.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. So that was a really good.
They would get distracted. Yeah, they would get distracted by people yelling them stuff in the first few rows. And they'd answer it, and they're like, "Oh yeah, Silver Fox. So yeah, cool, yeah, it's me."
Yeah. So it was a very, very, very good show. So did you do anything else over the weekend, Mikey?
What did I do? No, not really. Cleaned up. Watching a little baseball and softball, and I was pretty much just preparing for that Concord show. So.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, it was a bit.
Okay, well, I happened to go up to Santa Barbara for a half marathon, and I had a good time running the half marathon. I ended up barely getting another personal record, which I'm very happy, considering that the gosh dang course was 50% more elevation than anything I'd ever ran before. So, and it was all in the second half of the dang thing. So the second half of this 13.1 mile run started with something called a corkscrew, which was like a straight uphill run around a bunch of corners, and that killed me. But then I got back to the pace I wanted, and then just the last 3 miles of it, like 10, 11, and 12, heading towards the finish line, every time you turn a corner is another gosh dang hill. So I was dying at the end, but I still managed to get in under the time that I wanted to beat, thankfully. And so overall, it was a pretty fun time. So I'm glad I did it, but oh my god, I don't think I'm ever gonna do it again because of all the dang hills, dude. It was that part was rough. And then we
well, that one specifically.
Yeah, that one specifically. Then we found a couple new places, wine tasting places, and a couple restaurants that we liked. So it was fun. If you're ever up there north of the Los Olivos area, the places that I hit, we actually found a couple new places because we were kind of off the beaten path from actual Los Olivos. So the first place is it's north of Napomo. So like this would be like a Pismo Beach sort of shot. If you're in Pismo Beach, go to Peacock Cellars Tasting Room in Farmstead. It's this cool vineyard, but plus like a farmer's market sort of thing. And it's like family owned. The people were like super nice, and you could totally spend a lot of time sitting there sipping and shopping and doing all kinds of fun stuff. But Peacock Cellars was the first place. It's north of Napomo. And then we ate at lunch at Jocko's, which is Michael and Alicia's favorite restaurant in the world, apparently, all the way up there. And it's like a half hour to Pismo and like 40 minutes out of, Los Olivos, Buellton, but totally freaking worth it. It's like a country western sort of steakhousey sort of thing, but the food was very good relative to what you were expecting, certainly, and the service was great, and everybody's super nice, and I totally would go there anytime I'm in the area. And then the last place we went, which was pretty awesome, was and I'm gonna, even though I'm trying to speak some French, I'm gonna screw up this pronunciation, but it's the Presqu'île winery, and that's a little north of Los Alamos, a little south of Napomo. But when we were there, we ran into one of the ladies that we know from the Santa Barbara winery, Au Bon Climat, and she like works down there, and she's like, "Oh, this is the best place to go." And it was awesome. It had like an unbelievable view of the valley, looking, I think, northerly. I don't know. And if any of you have ever been to the Dow tasting winery up in what's the shoot? I'm drawing a blank here, but the wine country that's north of Los Olivos. Geesh, I can't think of it. Anyways, Dow's a real popular vineyard. It's kind of like that, only Paso Robles. Have you ever gone to Dow in Paso Robles? This one is kind of just like that, only really nice and cheaper and further south. So I highly recommend all those places. Anyways, Mike, that's all I got. Do you have anything else?
No, I'm good.
All right, cool, brother. So
quick.
yeah, that was quick. We got a little more. We ended up with probably about 40 minutes. That's fine. So, Mike, next week, hopefully you'll get Savage on. We're probably going to do this on Monday, and we'll talk about whatever's going on, and we'll get on with it. So, Mike, until next time, what do we say?
Go Bruins.
Good evening.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
That was the What's Bruin Show.
Oh my God.
Try us tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.
It's got to be in or out, Mom. In or out. Well, I need the door closed.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Dude, Rob, we play some ball on the West Coast.
The final word is boob.